Hello everyone, I welcome you all in your new class. Hope you are healthy and fine at home. There are 16 chapters in your science book, out of which I will take your only biology portion. So I am going to tell you about biology chapters. So chapter 6, life processes. Chapter 7, control and coordination. Chapter 8, how do organisms reproduce. Chapter 9, heredity and evolution. Chapter 15, our environment. And chapter 16, management of natural resources. So out of 16, altogether 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 chapters are for biology. So our first chapter, that is chapter 6, life processes. Life processes, before going to the topic, I'd like to ask you that how you will differentiate between living and non-living thing. This is not a new question, already you are knowing. So as we know that for a living being, what are the important criteria? That living being grow, living being show their movement. That means the most important criteria to decide whether something is alive is they are showing their movement without using any external help. But my question is, if we see a dog is running, or a cow is shaving cut, or a man shouting loudly on the street, they are living as per our knowledge. But what if when the dog or the cow or the man were asleep, they are not showing their movement? Then the second criteria that is respiration. Then you can say that they are showing their breathing process, so they are living. Okay, right. Now come to the next point, that is about plant. How do we know that the plants are living? They are not moving. Then your answer is that they are growing, so they are living. Yes, right. But some plants, they are not showing visible growth. Still they are alive, but they are not showing their growth that is that much visible. You cannot distinguish. And in case of some animals, they can breathe without visible movement. So the criteria for movement, that means the movement is the criteria as it is written, it is not always correct. Sometimes visible movement, if the visible movement is not there, even then the thing is alive. Then what kind of movement makes a thing alive? Some movements are not easily visible, like molecular movement. The molecular movement in cells and tissue is necessary for all life process. Now I'd like to explain these two lines. What is molecular movement? Okay, let's talk about level of organization. Then you will come to know what is molecular movement. So level of organization, already we have seen in earlier classes that living organisms are well organized structure. They can have tissues. Tissues have cells. Cells have smaller component in them, means molecules. Till this you are knowing the fact that what is tissue, what is cell, and inside of the cell there are some molecules, and these molecules join together and performing the activity of life. Because of the effect of the environment, living structures is very likely to keep breaking down over time. Means continuously we are working, you are walking, you are talking, you are running, doing work. So due to these all process, our body cells or tissue or sometimes organs, they get damaged. If order breaks down, the organism will no longer be alive. So living creature must keep repairing and maintaining their structure. So there is a word maintaining. What are the maintenance process in living organism? That means living being means cell. Inside of the cell molecules are there and we are continuously working. So our body need continuous repairing. That means maintenance is required. Now what kind of maintenance? What are the maintenance process for a living being? The maintenance functions of living organism, it must go on. Even we are just sitting in the class or we are just asleep, the maintenance job has to go on. The processes which together perform the maintenance job are life processes. That means in our body there are so many processes. All together they are performing this maintenance process. So these processes are known as life process. Okay, let me clear you about the life process. So one thing is clear, that our body is made up of cell and tissue, and continuously there is wearing and tearing of our cells and tissues, and it requires maintenance. And for that maintenance, some basic life process is required. So what are this life process? In a very simple word, we can understand that for maintaining maintenance process, we need energy. Our body need energy. And that energy comes from food. Food is coming outside to the inside of the body, and it is required to, that means that food which we take inside, that need to be broken down and finally converted into uniform source of energy by the process digestion. Already we have read in class 7. So first thing, our body need energy, and that energy we are getting from food. We are taking whole food, and that whole food is breaking down and converted into simpler one that our body is utilizing. So this process is digestion. At the same time, for breaking down, oxidizing of the food, we need oxygen. That means the second thing that our body is needed, that is oxygen. Again we are taking it from outside, and that oxygen, taking of oxygen, that process is called respiration. So two process, it is clear that one is digestion, another is respiration. For single cell animals, for single cell organisms, they are having no specific system. In our body we are having digestive system, respiratory system, but in single cell organism they are not having any particular system because they are single cell. So exchange of gases, removal of waste, these everything they are doing, these all process through their body surface. They are not having any system. But in case of multicellular organism, all the cells may not be in direct contact with the surrounding environment. Thus, simple diffusion will not meet the requirements of all the cells. Means our body, all the cells are not directly contact with the environment. So in case of multicellular organism, they need some particular kind of system. But unicellular, directly they are in contact with the environment, so there is direct exchange of these things. Now, since the food and oxygen are not taken up, they have to transport from one place to another place inside of the body. means circulatory system is also required. So three process. First, digestion, or we can say that is commonly called nutrition, mode of intake of food, that is nutrition. Already we have read about nutrition in junior classes. So first process, we talk about digestion. Second process, respiration, which is very much important for our body. Third process, transportation. And then the next process, that whatever byproduct created by this process, they are not only uses or useless for the cells or for the body, but could even be harmful. So these waste byproducts are therefore needed to be removed from the body and discarded outside by a process called excretion. So number fourth process, that is excretion. Again, if the basic rule of body design in multicellular organisms are followed, a specialized tissues for excretion will be developed, which means that the transportation system will need to transport waste away from cell to this excretory system, excretory tissue. So this is all about the first page of your book. Once again, I'd like to summarize the thing. First of all, we talk about living and non-living, differences between living and non-living. Whatever criteria we have read earlier, that is movement, growth, then respond to stimuli, this all everything is correct. But gradually we are explaining the things in some particular manner. That means movement, if it is not visible, even then the organism is living, because they are showing inside of their body there are some molecular movement going on. Then after design of the body, it is made up of the whole organism, then organ system, organ, tissue, cells, and inside of the cells there are some molecules. And these molecules are keep moving continuously. Then after, I told you that for a living being, they are continuously doing work, so their body need to repair, maintain. So what are the maintaining process? Whatever process we are doing to maintain our body, those processes are called life process. Means for maintaining work, we need energy, and that energy means we take food from outside, and the mode of taking food is called nutrition, and this food we digest and we get energy. So first raw material is food. Second, we need oxygen to oxidize our food and to release energy, and this is for your respiratory system. So second life process is respiration, and the second raw material is oxygen. Then the third, I told you that in multicellular body there are particular digestive system and all system, but in unicellular single cell they are directly come in contact with the environment, so they don't require any particular system. Directly they exchange gases and other material. But multicellular, they need organ system, because each and every cell are not in contact with the environment. Then after, I told you that after digestion of the food, each and every nutrient of food has to reach in every part of the body. So that process is called transportation. That means third life process we can say that is transportation. Then the fourth one, that is when everything is done, definitely there is byproduct, and that byproduct is eliminated out from our body. That process is called excretion. So life processes which we discussed here, that is digestion, respiration, transportation, and excretion. And raw material, that is food and oxygen. Here I am showing you page of your textbook. So in this page, everything is written as such. You can read this page, and then after this page you will get in-text question. There are 3 or 4 in-text question. First you try to do all this in-text question by yourself. It is very easy, very simple. Already I discussed in this video. But if you are unable to do this, then you can move further. You will get the answer of this question. So this is all about today's video. Next video I will start process, that is nutrition. Thank you.